Hello everyone, my name is William Switter. I'm an SAP Hana and Basis architect. Today in this series video, I will show you why to use Microsoft Azure for your SAP Hana application. As well, we'll go through some prerequisites and we'll finish with a technical overview with different aspects of it.
Why choosing Microsoft Azure? Customer wants the insurance of performance, privacy, and scale for their mission-critical application. Microsoft Azure sets the bar for scale and performance, leads in compliance, and offers the most global reach of any public cloud. Especially for SAP workload, Azure provides the most powerful and scalable infrastructure of any public cloud provider for SAP HANA. The strong partnership with SAP enabled to provide a mutual customer best-in-class support for the most demanding enterprise application. Today, Microsoft Azure supports the most largest public cloud estate for SAP HANA. The M-series virtual machine on E7 v3 supports a single load configuration with 3.5 TB of memory. For S4 or Suite on HANA landscape on Azure, we can go from 4 TB to 20 TB of memory. For BW on HANA or BW for HANA landscape, we can go up to 60 TB of memory. New offers such as SCP or SAP HEC are now available in order to extend customer needs and make the platform as a deployment option. From an identity services, now SAP and Azure Active Directory SSO allow the SAP Cloud Identity Authentication to enable the customer SSO capability across its SAP solution integrated with it. In order to run SAP HANA in Azure and be supported, several prerequisites need to be met. Support contact prerequisites and technical prerequisites are critical and must be met. The note below provide all necessary information accordingly. Make sure to follow all the points listed such as network, security, storage, and monitoring. In this last slide, I will explain the different options to run the migration from an on-prem to Microsoft Azure Cloud. This overall picture shows the different components in place to run the migration from a regular ERP on any databases on-premise to SAP HANA in Azure. The first point to take in consideration is the network connectivity to the on-prem environment and Microsoft Azure. To ensure a good and secure reliability, a VPN connection or a dedicated connection by using Azure Express Route is set up between both sites. Optional but recommended, in case of hybrid landscape, the Azure Active Directory can be configured to synchronize identity information. If in place, the lightware component called Azure Active Directory Connect is deployed to perform the synchronization. You notice on the diagram two Azure data center. It's because the data center for the large HANA instances use specific hardware. To ensure a fast and stable communication between application server and SAP HANA, virtual network where the server belongs to are interconnected by Express Route. The Azure Express Route enables you to communicate between your Azure components in the Azure data center and your SAP HANA Azure large instances system. Only this component can be used. Sub-application server run on a virtual machine. Use actually Microsoft Azure Blob Storage, which provide long-term storage of unstructured data and executable files. SAP on Azure require that you run your SAP workload on a certified Azure virtual machine. So I will invite you to check the note 1928 533 to have the latest guidance, because it's important to run actually your application on a correct environment. SAP HANA on Azure large instances run on a dedicated blade server located in Microsoft Azure data center. Like I said earlier, this is a specific data center. So far, from a component standpoint, we have everything we need in place. So now I will explain what it takes and how to perform the migration. you have a couple of options to run your migration from the on-prem to Microsoft Azure cloud actually. So the one of the first that you can actually run will be to use what they call the classical migration approach, which consists of running a export import and build a new environment based on the export provided basically. So you run that export from the source, and then you import it directly from the Azure environment that is already set up, configured, and you run the SWPM to create this new environment on Hana based on that import. So running this actually involve many manual action because it's not automated process, so-called. So there is many nodes that you will have to go through along the process. But this is one of the techniques that is still used today. One of the other option actually is to build the exact same kind of environment that you do have. Let's say that you have a ERP on SQL, and you want to reinstall it directly on the cloud. You can do it as well. So it means that you will have actually four potentially, I would say, 3 virtual machine where you will actually use. So you will reimage the landscape that you do have in place. So you will have the same exactly, and then you will run the migration, an technical on-prem migration by using the DMO tool. So you will run the DMO directly into the Microsoft Azure cloud. So this is the second option. The third option will be actually to use the DMO tool to make your migration happen directly. So you will actually run your DMO tool directly from your on-prem to the cloud option. But one thing that you will have to notice, if you do this, it means that you will have the application server already in place in the cloud, because you can't have your application server in your data center and the database in the cloud.